If you're watching this video, you probably binge watched the first 2 seasons of Emily in Paris, considered moving to Paris yourself, or maybe you already did, or you're simply curious to know where all the scenes were shot so you can visit them yourself during your next trip to Paris. Well, look no further, I have the guide for you. We're going to take a lovely stroll from Opera Garnier in the 8th arrondissement all the way to Emily's apartment in the 5th, stopping on the way at some of the key locations used in the series. You'll find the main locations listed in the timestamps below so you can follow this itinerary in real life. If you'd like me to make a downloadable PDF of this walking tour with a map, walking times and distances, and a more in-depth history of the locations visited, please let me know in the comments so I can create it for you. Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel where we discuss all things wellness, self-development and life in Paris. I'm Cecily, an Australian writer and content creator based in Paris. So let's get into the Emily in Paris walking tour. I started the tour at 8 AM at Opera Garnier, hence why there aren't a bunch of tourists standing in front taking photos at this time. You'll remember in season 1 when Emily invites her date Thomas here and then dumps him on the stairs because of his shitty attitude. Opera Garnier was built at the request of Emperor Napoleon III to house the Paris Opera, with construction lasting from 1861 to 75 under the direction of architect Charles Garnier. Next, wander down the Avenue de l'Opéra for about 15 minutes to Le Jardin du Palais in the 1st arrondissement, where Emily meets Mindy for the first time during her lunch break on this very bench. This is one of my favorite gardens in Paris. Originally created in 1633, it's fairly quiet and small, never too busy, and is known for the art installation Les Deux Plateaux by Daniel Buren, where a lot of Instagrammers take their pics, also getting up at dawn before the tourists. It is one of the rare parks in central Paris which is dog friendly, which is a huge plus. Just around the corner from the garden is the Savoir office where Emily works. This is 6 Place de Valois, and I believe they used this restaurant in the series also. As you can tell from the impeccable appearance of the buildings, this is a very bourgeois neighborhood. After a quick photo op, we're headed across the River Seine, passing through the Louvre, any excuse to walk by, and crossing over the Pont des Arts, where we see Mindy busking in season 2. Built in 1804 and modified several times since, this bridge has definitely seen better days. This morning, they were patching up some of the wooden planks, so I assume that it will get some kind of renovation after tourist season is over. This is the bridge that used to be covered in locks, but they replaced the barrier with glass a few years ago because it was becoming too heavy, and now people just attach their locks to the light posts. Either way, this bridge is so lovely because from the Louvre you can see right across to l'Institut de France, which is a lovely Baroque style building. Next on the itinerary is Café de Flore on Boulevard Saint-Germain in the 6th arrondissement, approximately a 10-minute walk from where we crossed the Seine. This part of town has some lovely art galleries, and I wandered along one street called Rue des Beaux-Arts. Go figure. In the series, Café de Flore is where Emily met Thomas, the professor that we mentioned at Opera, on the café terrace, and he tells Emily about the popular neighboring café Les Deux Magots. Both cafes were frequented by high-profile writers, artists, philosophers, filmmakers and actors, including Pablo Picasso, Ernest Hemingway, Oscar Wilde and Simone de Beauvoir. After you've enjoyed a refreshment, expect to pay about double regular prices here. Stroll along the Rue Saint-André-des-Arts, where are my Sex and the City fans at, for about 10 minutes towards Ile Saint-Louis, stopping at the Fontaine Saint-Michel, which opened in 1860 in the Latin Quarter, where Mindy was once again busking in season 2. Now we're going to head in the direction of Emily's apartment. Following Boulevard Saint-Michel for about 15 minutes is going to take us to the Pantheon in the 5th arrondissement, where Emily broke up with her American boyfriend in the beginning of season 1. If you aren't willing to pay €7 for a cappuccino at Café de Flore, I've got you. There are a couple of Starbucks and a pret-a-manger on the way, so you can energize yourselves and grab a snack or sit down for a moment. I think the beauty of following a self-guided tour is that you can go at your own pace. Once you reach the Pantheon, I highly recommend visiting the interior. It is really beautiful and peaceful. Opened in 1790, there is a crypt underneath where some famous French citizens such as Voltaire, Marie Curie and Victor Hugo are buried, but Personally, I enjoy the main level. The domed ceiling is breathtaking, and there's also the Foucault pendulum swinging back and forth. This is a device named after French physicist Léon Foucault, I'm probably butchering the name, I apologize, which was introduced in 1851 as an experiment to demonstrate the Earth's rotation. Now, the part you've all been waiting for. Literally 1 minute's walk from the Pantheon is Emily's apartment, on Place de l'Estrapade in the 5th arrondissement. When you arrive from the direction of the Pantheon, the first thing that you will see is Gabriel's restaurant, Les Deux Compères in the series, which is actually an Italian restaurant called Terra Nera in real life. And right next door is the famous bakery, La Boulangerie Moderne. Both were unfortunately closed when I walked by, but it is August and literally everybody is on holidays right now. So just down the street from the restaurant is the square where Emily hosted an outdoor dinner party for her birthday, which is overlooked by her and Gabriel's apartment building, number 1 Place de l'Estrapade. There were a few excited Emily in Paris fans there taking photos when I came by at around 11:30 in the morning, but I wouldn't say that it was busy by any means. So while you could end the tour there, I would recommend one more easy stop, le Jardin du Luxembourg, where Emily is seen jogging in season 1. Just a 7-minute stroll will bring you to one of the most beautiful and relaxing gardens in Paris. One section of the park is dog friendly, but for the most part you'll find people lounging in chairs, reading a book by the fountain, chatting with friends, jogging, playing tennis. They even have pony rides for kids. It's the perfect opportunity for you to relax and maybe eat a croissant from La Boulangerie Moderne. Although there are also plenty of takeaway spots nearby that sell things like bubble tea, ice cream cones, sandwiches, etc. Now, for bonus points, there's one additional location that I'd like to mention, but which doesn't fit into this itinerary, which is the Pont Alexandre III in the 7th arrondissement. This is where the advertising campaign for the perfume de l'Heure was filmed in Emily in Paris. It's a stunning bridge which crosses the Seine towards Invalides and is definitely worth seeing during your visit, but perhaps on a day where you're already visiting that part of Paris, near the Champs-Élysées or the Eiffel Tower. Alright, that wraps up our Emily in Paris walking tour. Thanks so much for watching. I hope it helps you to plan your own Emily in Paris self-guided tour, or maybe you just enjoyed learning about where the series was shot. Let me know in the comments what kind of videos you're interested in seeing from me, whether it's more Paris-focused content or self-development and wellness tips. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love you to hit the like button, and of course you're always welcome to join this little internet community by subscribing. And so I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!